If you are hearing show don't tell so much from your editors and beta readers that it's coming out your ears before you throw your laptop out the window, let me just talk to you a minute. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's Mrs. A. Thank you for joining me here on The Creative Insider. It's so glad to have you back. If you are enjoying this through the newsletter, thank you. And if you are finding me on YouTube and you haven't signed up, think about switching over to carrieellenbacher.com for a second /newsletter and sign up today. It's free. You will get my ebook, Mrs. A's Creative Resource Kit for Book, Blog, and Brand. It's just a quick little ebook with some meat and potatoes ideas in it for you to add things to your marketing. If you are an author, you can use it if you're any kind of creative, but it's a little author specific. Free to you from me, just to say thank you. So go and check it out. Today, I wanted to talk about show don't tell. Recently, I've had quite a few people come at me in anguish because they have been getting the show don't tell routine and they're a little fed up. And maybe you've been there. I know I have. And at some point or another, we probably all get that line, you really need to show and don't tell as much, show us the story. And it can be a hard thing sometimes when you're in the groove, you haven't been writing for a while, you sit down, it's starting to come out, you're so excited, you don't want to stop, you want to get it all on paper, you have to write this scene down right now, today, you need a word count, you need a deadline, it's got to come out. And so you might rush through a manuscript and then find that you have told us a great story, but it's feeling a little disconnected, a little clinical, a little cliche, and then we get the gotta show, don't tell. So before you Gallagher your desk off of the roof and decide to give up writing, just take a deep breath, it's gonna be okay. Like I said, we've all been there. Some of the things that can really help you might be webinars and ebooks and blogs and classes. There's a ton of information out there, but don't feel that you have to necessarily spend money in order to learn things to help you to show and not tell. It can be as simple as really just connecting with yourself a little bit more and becoming more conscious and more aware of things. Sometimes we just want to get the character from point A to point B, and it can come out sounding like we are a news reporter. And one of the great things that you have the ability to do with your talent as a writer is to really draw me in to what's going on in your story. I know one of the things that I like to do when I'm reading is to put myself in as either the main character or one of the characters in the book, to subconsciously picture it as me in the story. And I find that really helps me to kind of shut out the rest of the world and to really dive into the book. And maybe some of you are like that also. So think of ways that you can take me from this side of the page to being right in the story. I know one of the writers that I really enjoy, whom I feel does a good job at this, is Zane Grey. Now, he writes Westerns, he wrote them 50, 60 years ago, but even if he's not your specific genre, he has a really great way of telling a story, so much so that you feel like you are one of the cowboys on one of the horses on this cattle drive, you're with the main character in the desert, you're watching day turn to night all around you. And he really has a way of weaving a tale so that you feel like, even though you may never have been to the Wild West in the 1800s, it makes you feel like you're really there. So he might be one of just dozens that you can explore a little bit to see, to gain some perspective on how other writers really are able to draw you in and paint a picture and make you feel your surroundings as you're reading this story. One of the things that I want to suggest to you is, if you have a piece that you're really stuck on, they say show don't tell, read it over and see if you are being vague in the facts and the details. Now, I know there are people who are saying, Mrs. A, I don't want to take 20 pages to describe a peanut like War and Peace. I don't want to bore my readers to death. And I totally get that, because I also do not want to bore my readers to death. However, there are always places, it seems, in a paragraph where you can slip in a little bit more detail and be a little bit more specific somewhere in a sentence. And even just coloring things in just a little bit and while still leaving some to the imagination of your reader can really help to show instead of tell. If you are sitting right there watching me now, a fun little exercise just to test yourself might be to grab some paper and pen or your tablet and do a little flash fiction, maybe just a paragraph or two, maybe just a page, and describe you as a character sitting watching a YouTube video. Oh, Mrs. A, so boring, don't get it, not interested. I understand, but bear with me. If you are sitting there right now and maybe you are ducking your head in a closet to watch this on the phone while the kids are in the bathtub because that's the only 5 minutes you're going to have of sanity for the next couple hours, or maybe you are curled up on the couch with your cat because you are exhausted after a long day, or maybe you have this playing in your ear while you're trying to work on something else and get some bills paid. Maybe you're outside while trucks are driving really loud past your house. You're trying to be productive, but you can't hear yourself think. Wherever you're at, there are things going on around you. There are things that you can see, gradients of light, items around you. You're feeling things, the heat of the room, the fur of the cat that's brushing on your leg, the softness of your clothes or your jammies. You might be at work and there's fax machines and phones and all kinds of noise going on. There are things around us that oftentimes we just try to block out to focus our train of thought. But those are some of the exact things that we need to kind of pull into our paragraphs to help our story to show and not tell. So challenge yourself, write a page about a character watching a YouTube video and try to describe what they're doing and maybe their thought process. Maybe they're a little distracted while they're watching. Maybe there's something else going on. Try to be specific about the character and see if you can flesh out a page about something really simple, like watching a YouTube video, to practice getting those juices flowing as you describe things, because you might end up, over time, becoming more aware in your day-to-day life of temperature outside and the things that you touch and how they're feeling and the way that things look, instead of just saying she talked into a blue camera, that it's a certain type of blue, and that the trees are not just trees behind her as a plain background, but that they're hemlock pines. So think about being specific and to really take time to pull your reader in a little bit, as if they could be sitting in the corner of the room while the scene is unfolding, because drawing them in is really what they want anyway. If you are working on something, challenged with something, accomplishing something, let me know. You can hit me up at Twitter at Ollie1, AULLY, the number 1, and I would love to connect with you, follow you, share what you're doing, and cheer you on. If you have a creative who has a project or something coming out, I would be so excited to hear about it and include you in a future edition of the newsletter, so definitely let me know about that. Drop me a line at the website, carrieallenbacher.com. And of course, as always, sign up for the newsletter and get your free ebook, Mrs. A's Creative Resource Kit for Book, Blog, and Brand. I hope that you will not give up on showing your story to the world, because we need that story and we need it as only you can tell it. And if you feel that you are ready to sacrifice everything and change everything about how you write in order to show a great story, I can go anywhere and have a great story shown to me or a great story told to me, but I can't get your story and your inner worlds the way you see them from anywhere else but you. So whatever you're doing to grow and evolve today as a writer, do not cross a line where you're ready to sacrifice your own unique style just to be technically and grammatically perfect. We can go somewhere and find something that's technically wonderful, but we can never find your story anywhere but from you. And that's what makes your brand really wonderful and special, okay? So take that to heart. I love you guys. I will talk to you again soon. Thanks for joining me. This is Mrs. A. you.